Welcome back to Mike and Minds, where every voice has a story to tell and every episode turns a page into something amazing. I'm Arana, and after all the green love you showed to us on Earth Day, we're back with something just as magical story magic. But first, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Earth Day Challenge winner! To the rock star who cycled to school, reused notebooks, and brought their cloth. So, are you all ready to know the name of the winner of our listeners' challenge? Let us celebrate our Eco Champion of the Week. And the winner is Shavi Sassane from 4C who took the challenge. And here she is. Let's hear from her.
Hi, my name is Shavi Rituparna Sassane from class 4C. I'm really very happy to be this year's Eco Champion. I started by reusing my last year's notebook as my rough notebook instead of buying new. At my home, I have two dustbins, one for wet waste and the other for dry waste. As my mother says that some of this waste is biodegradable, means it is decomposed by the bacteria in nature itself. And some of this waste is non-biodegradable, means we can reuse it and recycle it. At my mother's clinic, we have 4 different dustbins. One for hazard waste, one for biomedical waste, and the other 2 for dry waste and wet waste. On my birthday, I plant at least one sapling. At my school, I carry stainless steel bottles and tiffin. Do you heard this thing, my dear friends? That our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji says, "Swachh rahega Bharat, tabhi badega Bharat." Friends, and always remember these tips. And I for sure, one day you will be the little young stars of our Mother Earth. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Now, let's turn the page to today's magical episode. Hello, story seekers. Today we are joined with someone super special.
Hello. Ya Maya ya Maya ya Maya ya Maya ya Maya Maya Maya. I will tell you a story.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm excited.
Super.
A word artist and a mesmerizing storyteller. The one and only Miss Shraddha Nigvekar.
Hello.
A doctorate in molecular biology from the University of Missouri, Columbia, USA. She is the founder of Katha by Shraddha. She doesn't just write stories, she brings them alive. Miss Shraddha, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Gargi.
Are you ready to sprinkle some story dust on us?
Oh, I would love to. Already.
Okay.
Let's go.
So first things first. What made you want to become an author and storyteller? How was the journey from a scientist to a word artist?
Excellent question, Gargi. I think it's an organic evolution, if I may say so. I was always very creative as a child, but I was also very good in science and I loved biology. So at that time when I was a child, somehow I always did a lot of creative stuff and I read a lot of books, many books. I think my go-to pastime was to read books. But then the science bug got me. And then I studied more biology and went on to do my PhD. And I did research for more than 10 years. And then somehow life took its changing, like a river. Yeah. This bend and then that bend. And eventually I came into a space where doing science, researching science took a back seat. And somehow I had the time, the space, the energy to explore my creative side more. And that's when it just blossomed. Writing of stories, telling stories, playing with stories and acting them out also. And that's how I've now become a full-time storyteller and an author.
That's an inspiring journey, which is a living testament. Follow your passion. I have one more question for you. Where do you get the writing plots from? Is there any secret idea factory in your brain?
Maybe, not exactly. So I feel life itself is a constant reservoir of ideas. So on my drive from Pune to here, for example, I must have seen maybe at least 3 or 4 different things happen around me, which could be ideas to write stories. Day-to-day life, once one actually observes what's going on, around you all the time, be very observant at all times, and keep a little diary. So sometimes when something really speaks to me, I just note it down very quickly. Sometimes in dreams also. You see something in a dream and it's at that edge of your brain as you're waking up and you almost lose it. But before you lose it, I have a diary kept by my bedside and I just quickly jot it down. And sometimes I promise you it makes no sense when I read it later, but it's worth writing it down anyway because somewhere, somehow those connects will happen and you can pull those characters that you've seen and noticed around you, pull those incidents that have happened around you and create and craft a story around them. So no secret thing in my brain, but just life as it happens around you. The most interesting things, right from animals to birds to insects to, of course, people.
Wow, that's great, ma'am. Actually, I read stories too.
Yeah.
2 of mine are even on books. But
Really?
sometimes I stop writing midway because I think they're not good enough. What would you say to young writers like me?
So I think that's a challenge that every writer faces, Gargi, whether it is someone of your age or my age or someone that's starting to write or even experienced, well-established authors too. Sometimes it's called writer's block, author's block as we all know it. I feel the only answer to that is, it's a very boring answer, but it's true. It's discipline and dedication. Of course, step back. If you feel bored with what you're writing and you say, I can't think of anything new to write, step away for some time, take a break, do something totally different, but be disciplined enough to come back to it. Yeah? And another very important thing is, don't be so self-judgmental. Something that you write, you must complete it and then take a look at it and see if it can be improved. But don't stop midway. Take a break, but come back to it and keep going. And also realize that no author, not even the most famous authors, the most established of authors, will write a masterpiece in the first attempt. One always has to go back and redo what one has written.
Ma'am, that's actually inspiring. That will go a long way for me and many young minds who want to explore writing.
Congratulations on your 2 books on Books.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
ma'am, thank you. But I just need to still work on my books because they're not good enough, I think.
Well, always use your friends. After you've written something, you can always use friends and family to bounce things off of, right? Yeah. Bounce ideas, give them the raw manuscript and say, hey, tell me what you think about it. And go to people that you feel safe with, that you will not mind constructive criticism from.
Yeah, my confidence are given by my parents that they only told me that you can just create books.
Yes.
You just can make books, you can be an author. If you're just
wonderful.
Just like if you don't have interest in more studies.
Right.
If you are in books, then you can do it.
You can do it.
That's the inspiration I got from
the
parents.
Self-doubt part is there at everyone's age and stage, whether you're very young or very old, very new at writing or very experienced in writing. That little bud of self-doubt that's there is probably a good thing because you'll always keep on improving your writing. But don't let it bog you down. You must come back to your writing and you must complete what you're writing.
One last question before we move to the next segment.
Okay.
Ma'am, what do you enjoy more? Writing a story or performing it aloud?
Very tough question, Gargi. I think that each of those talk to different parts of me. So writing a story gives me gratification in the long run. It's a long drawn out process. It takes sometimes at least several months to sometimes several years. And, feedback about that story comes in bits and pieces over time. telling a story out aloud is instant gratification, like 2-minute Maggie noodles. Right? You tell the story and you get immediate feedback from the audience, and you know if they're enjoying the story or not. So I think those really satisfy different parts of me. It would be difficult for me to say what I enjoy more. I do know that I enjoy doing both a lot.
Oh, that's wonderful. So now let's move to our next segment, the rapid fire round.
Okay.
We call it old school versus school.
Okay.
Ma'am, just say which one you like more
Okay.
and why.
All right.
Ready?
I think so.
Audiobooks or grandma's bedtime tales?
Grandma's bedtime tales.
Why?
Because it takes me back to my childhood, where I would be snuggled in with my dad actually, and he would be telling me stories. Audiobooks is a great, platform, but it doesn't have the warmth for me that those memories bring back.
Next question. Kindle or library cards?
Library cards.
Why?
I think I'm really old school here, but the smell and the feel of books, just the Kindle version just doesn't compare.
Okay. Writing in tablets or doodling in notebooks?
Doodling in notebooks.
Why?
I doodle all the time. Even when I'm on a phone conversation, I'm doodling something if it's a long phone conversation. And writing on a tablet is the feel of the pencil.
Yeah.
The physical feel of holding that pencil or pen and doodling, that just gives me, my nerves get excellent feedback. So,
Okay. Next question. Story apps or comic strips in the Sunday newspaper?
comic strips in the Sunday newspaper.
Oh, even I like that.
Guilty as charged, yeah. Because it gives me a visual, a visual creative kind of a look. And I love the way cartoonists bring out the character with just a few lines here and there. It's
That's
amazing.
why I'm waiting for every Sunday to come.
Ah.
Now I have one more question.
Okay.
AI writing tools or daydreaming with pen and paper?
I haven't used AI writing tools, frankly, as much, so I
Okay.
wouldn't know how to answer the question. So by default, I would say daydreaming with pen and paper.
Oh, that's interesting. Then reading in bed or reading under a tree?
Ouch. That's an unfair rapid fire question. Both are equally enjoyable. I always read in bed before going to sleep. That's my nighttime routine. And reading under a tree is so peaceful and lovely. I wish I could do it more often. So,
I wish I can do because in city we can't even find a perfect tree.
tree to sit under, right?
Yeah, that's
shady
true.
enough. Yeah, that is.
Online poetry or handwritten verses?
Handwritten verses, I think, has a more personal touch to it.
Okay. Then last question.
Mm-hmm.
Watching book trailers or imagining it all from the back cover?
I would say watching book trailers here, because rather than imagining it, I would like to know what the author was thinking and then imagine what happens. It's just a trailer, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to watch a book trailer and then imagine what would happen next before reading the book.
You are too good, ma'am. And win a hamper.
Oh, really? Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was one in play. How nice. Thank you.
Right, listeners, time to test our bookish brains. Miss Shraddha will read a famous line from a beloved book. And first three of you to guess the book title correctly will win exciting prizes. Over to you, Shraddha ma'am.
How exciting, Gargi. Are you ready? This is one of my favorite books, and the line reads as such. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to our enemies, but just as much to stand up to our friends. Which book is that line from?
Know the book? Got the title? Now race to your teacher or mail it on a class email ID and submit your answers right now. Ma'am, I wanted to ask you a question. Ma'am, when I started writing books, I just thought that I would ever meet an author, famous author. And now I met a very famous author. Now,
It's very kind of you to say, Gargi.
So I just wanted to ask that according to you, what is being an author?
I think being an author is one of the most responsible tasks because what one thinks and what one writes can spread that particular message to hundreds, if not thousands, of people. So it's a job with a lot of responsibility. And one has to be very careful about how one phrases one's thoughts and ideas into words and into stories because one can end up making a big difference. It's a joy to be able to express oneself in the written word. And I think it's also a very grueling task. It's not an easy task. It takes a lot of discipline and dedication, as you said. But all in all, the best part of being an author is when one gets to meet,
Another author?
another author like yourself and also discuss ideas. Part of it being doing book readings at places and having the audience come and tell you how much they enjoyed your book or how it made a difference in their lives. I think that is the most wonderful part of being an author.
Even I feel inspired now.
I'm so glad.
Ma'am, do you have any message for our learners at ISGS?
Well, I've been here since morning and I've met some of the learners at ISGS, and I think it's a wonderful, wonderful space for learning and growing and evolving. It's been a joy being here. And as far as I can see, this community doesn't need more messages really from me. I just say, keep reading, keep the story alive, keep playing with stories, and look for creativity around you. It's all there, all around you. So never stop reading, never stop writing. Even if you feel that this isn't good enough, do express yourself. It doesn't have to be seen by anyone necessarily. You don't have to publish everything that you write, but never stop exploring and experimenting with words. That would be my
Ma'am,
message.
from whom did you got the inspiration to write books?
From whom?
Yeah, inspiration.
I would say all my teachers. Since childhood, all my gurus and mentors, they may know that they are my gurus or they may not even know that they're my gurus. But I think we learn from everyone around us, including, of course, our formal educators. But I think you get inspired by certain characteristics of different people that you meet. So it's not one person per se, but definitely the authors that I read as a child, I think inspired that imagination inside of me. And the ichha, the desire, the want, the need to put things down on paper. So,
Oh, ma'am, which is the most famous book till now? I want to buy it and read it.
oh my goodness, so sweet of you. Well, I don't know if it's famous or not, but I have my books here to show you, which
Oh,
were published. And this is the latest one, which is a mystery book, kind of like an
yeah, I heard
Enid
about
Blyton.
its
Yes,
event
it's about the
opening.
Fabulous Four. It's a mystery that happens in a school, and something of the school goes missing.
Oh,
And the Fabulous Four are completely up to their necks in finding out how to find but you should have this in your library soon.
yeah.
Yeah. So there's also these two anthologies in which this one has a true story from my childhood, one when I was in boarding school for some time, and this is a true story from my childhood that's in this book. It's called The Battle Over Breakfast. It's a short story. It's one of my favorite stories. And this one has a fictional tale in it. This is also an anthology of 12 stories by 12 different authors. This is also recently released. But this one you will not get to buy, but it's something which is very close to my heart because it's a picture book that has been published by a women's NGO organization in Peshawar, actually, for children that are financially disadvantaged and to help them learn English. So there are different variety of books, but I think the others you will have in your library very soon. So hopefully you will get to read them soon.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I surely go to my near bookstore.
But do read the mystery book and let me know how you liked it, Gargi.
Yeah, sure. So, friends, whether you are a reader, a dreamer, a writer, or all three, just remember, every story begins with a single word. Maybe your word is next. Until next time, this is Mike and Minds at ISGS. until there are stories in our hearts and ideas in our minds. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Gargi. This was wonderful.
Ma'am, a small hamper for you from ISGS.
Thank you so much, Gargi and
welcome.
Araina. Such a lovely time here today. And this looks so interesting. Thank you.
That is special. That is especially from our teachers.
Lovely. It's beautiful. Sure.